Welcome to the Will and Walker podcast, episode number 6. I am Will, and with me is
Walker.
And we are coming to you from
sunny Beardstown, Illinois.
Yes, sunny.
Not that hot.
No, it's not as hot as it's been. It's warm, very
Yeah.
warm, humid. Nice rain yesterday. Reports of a funnel cloud spotted south of town yesterday.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you that.
Darn.
Today, we're going to be talking about Walker's vacation, which is why we haven't uploaded a podcast for almost 2 weeks, because he's been absent. So that's the subject of today's podcast. But before we get started, we wanted to give a shout out to our first 2 producers. We'd like to invite you to check out patreon.com/Will and Walker podcast. And there you have the opportunity to financially support the podcast. And our first 2 $5 tier supporters come in the form of my parents, Janet, a.k.a. Mom, a.k.a. Nana.
Nana and Pop.
A.k.a. just Nan, was our first producer. And the other producer is Pop, a.k.a. Pop. So thank you very much, Mom and Pop, Nan and Pop, for supporting the podcast. That money is going towards paying for our hosting service so we can save our podcasts and listen to them later in life, whenever that may be. Speaking of listening to our podcast, we would like to thank all the listeners out there. We've had 31 unique listeners and 115 streams of one podcast episode or another.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot more than we expected. So thank you all very much for the support, and we look forward to bringing you quality content the next several weeks, months, hopefully years. So, okay. So, why don't you start out by sharing with our listeners where you went and just the trip down.
Okay. I'm yawning because I am tired. So we went to Gulf Shores, Alabama. It took us not in hours, but basically 2 days. We drove, and then we stayed at a hotel, and then we drove again, and then that day we got there. So, yeah. And
Where did you stay?
We stayed at a place called Island Royale, and it was like a place where people have condos, but like they're basically just big hotel rooms with like a living room and kitchen and stuff. And they rent them out because they're very expensive, and we got one of those.
So do people live there, or is it people's homes? Like, was there stuff on the walls? And
There was stuff, but like it was the kind of stuff that would be in a hotel. There were lots of movies, which was cool. I got to watch Airplane. I didn't tell you that.
Oh,
That movie was just
that's weird, because when you were gone, all I did was watch movies, and that was one of the movies I
Really?
watched. Airplane. It's a classic. It's hilarious. Surely you must be joking.
I'm not joking about seeing it, if that's what you're saying.
Please don't call me Shirley. That's the joke.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I meant when you went down there, where you stopped. Do you remember where you stopped?
Oh yeah, I should talk about where we went to eat lunch on the first day. That was really funny.
All right.
So, do you care if we go over a half an hour? Because I'll probably talk for more than a half an hour.
I'll try to keep it moving, but yeah,
right.
Tell the story about lunch on day 1.
I think we were in Mississippi still, and we were like, oh, we're going to Chick-fil-A. But when we got close to the Chick-fil-A, there was a lot of backed up traffic, and we were like, well, what's the deal? The deal was all of the traffic was just people in the line for Chick-fil-A.
That's how it is everywhere. Haven't you been
ridiculous.
by the one in Springfield? And that's the cool thing about Chick-fil-A is they have it down to where, yeah, you're gonna get in a line of traffic, but they're gonna get you through really quick.
and the line went out into the road, almost into the highway.
Yes, you got to get that chicken
I don't think it's worth
and the
it.
chicken sauce. Oh, it's good. It's good. It
I,
reminds their drive-through always reminds me of Portillo's.
I don't have too many good experiences with Chick-fil-A yet, so
What?
I don't
Okay, you're young.
exactly. I
You haven't
had
lived
too
yet.
many experiences
I
yet.
love Chick-fil-A.
Anyway, so then we drove around for like probably 25 minutes, and then we ended up going to Cracker Barrel,
Mm,
which was yummy. I got a chicken BLT with honey, or with not with honey, but
I
with
don't like
maple
Cracker
syrup on it, and it was good. It was yummy.
I don't like Cracker Barrel. Moving on,
Took us a while, but it was yummy. Anyway, I should get to when.
because you ate at Cracker Barrel on the way home too, didn't you?
Yeah,
Ugh.
which I was not excited about. So what I did,
Yuck.
I'll talk about that later.
All
But
right.
I'm gonna fast forward to when we got there. We ate at a cool place. We didn't even go to the condo yet, but we ate first at this place called Bahama Bob's, which was very good, and I ate probably the most unique burger ever there, which was a burger with lettuce. I didn't have any condiments on it because, I didn't. There was lettuce, tomato, onion, bacon, and a. I think there was 2 slices of Swiss cheese and a grilled pineapple on it.
Yuck. You lost me on the grilled pineapple.
I didn't want to put
It sounded
anything.
really good up until then.
I didn't want to put anything on it because I wasn't sure how mayonnaise would mix with a grilled pineapple.
I would have thrown it in the street
It was really good.
and then stomped on it.
It was it was weird tasting a burger with something sweet on it, but it was still really good.
Yeah, so weird. I would have thrown up in my mouth and then thrown up on the table.
And then I forgot a lot about what happened in between, but I enjoyed the beach, which surprised me. I didn't think I would, but I liked it.
So how were you like right on the beach? Or were you like a block away from the beach in the condo?
We were right on the beach.
Right on the beach.
On the top floor, and it was cool.
Yeah. Okay. Anything exciting happened at the condo? I heard a story about
Oh boy.
secret access to a rooftop, something or other.
I shouldn't have told anyone because I don't like talking about it.
Oh,
I didn't think
Why?
it was that bad.
I don't
but
think it's
everyone
bad,
was,
but it's not something I would have thought you would ever have done. Now you got to tell the story.
Everyone was like, "Ooh, you did this." Ooh, ooh,
I never would have
ooh."
expected you to do it.
Okay, well, I think it was actually the first day I was coming back from the beach, and I got in the elevator, and then there were 3 girls that went in, and then 2 guys that were separate, and then I was alone. But it was pretty cool. I had a really cool conversation with them. I think the guys were from Louisiana or something, and the girls were from Texas. And it was pretty cool talking to them. And then the guys talked about how they're going to a hot tub on the roof. And then we all went up there. I don't know. I feel weird talking about it, but
It was like
anyway.
you had to have a code or something, didn't you, to get up
Yeah.
on the roof? Yeah. So it
So-
was. Yeah.
We went up there, and then they were like, beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, boop, and typed in a code. And then we all kind of went up there. I kind of stayed out of everything, but I wanted to look over, like, the edge. There is a fence on the roof.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I looked over that because I thought it would be really cool, even though it wasn't much higher than our condo. It was still really cool, though. And then, yeah, they got in the hot tub, and I was like, okay, it was cool. It was nice meeting you guys. And then and then I went towards the elevator, and the guys were showing the girls like the passcode to get in, but I didn't pay attention to it because like I didn't know if it was for me or not, or like for everybody or not. So I just kind of left.
All right. I would have probably said, nah, I don't want to go, but hey. All right, so I think we've talked enough about the condo. Talk about the beach. You actually went to the
cool.
beach.
Yes, beach cool.
What was cool about the beach? Did you get in the water at all?
Yes, I did. Of course.
Did you swim in the water? Or did you
I didn't swim in
play
the
with
water.
the sharks?
The first time basically most of us went out really far in the water. That was pretty cool. And then like 5 minutes after that, some guy got stung by a jellyfish. So we were like, let's not stay this far out. We weren't exactly sure what it was, but we just heard someone like not too far away from us go, ah! And that we were like, oh, cool.
Yeah, that
Pulled away from the mic because I didn't
doesn't
want to
sound
scream.
cool. Well, yeah, thanks. That's still going to be pretty loud. So I saw a picture of a sandcastle that you built.
Oh, I didn't know there were pictures.
There was a picture.
I
Was
would've
it Tony Stark's sandcastle or?
No, I just like Finley was building a sandcastle in this, and I was like, I'm just gonna build a wall because I think that'd be cool. And then
Oh.
I built a wall.
So you were helping her build a sandcastle.
Yeah.
It wasn't your sandcastle.
No,
Okay.
I think it was our sandcastle.
All right. So let's see. What else? You talked about the beach. A beach is a beach. I don't like beaches, so
It was-
that's the main reason why I stayed
Yeah.
home, because I don't like getting sand between my toes.
The water was cool because sometimes it'd be really clear and sometimes it'd be really dark. And then one time when the water was really clear, well, actually it wasn't that clear, but like one morning we saw a stingray in the shallow water just going across the shore, and it was really cool.
Looking to sting somebody.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. So what do you think? Is it when the water is not clear? So what's making it cloudy?
I think it's because
I think it's
of-
poop.
You think it's poop? I think what it is
Sewage.
when the high tides and low tides, it depending on how much sand it pushes onto the shore and how much it doesn't. So when it doesn't push that much sand up there, you can't see the bottom.
I
But
still
when
think
it
it's poop.
does, yeah,
I think it's poop.
I don't think it's poop.
Anything else about the beach you need to talk about?
I played catch with a frisbee with Stella with the frisbee golf disc.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Those aren't really made to play catch with because they're
Yeah.
dangerous.
But I
You should have
still
played
do.
with the putter.
I should have. I
The
didn't
putter
think
is
of
the
that.
closest thing to a regular disc or a regular frisbee. So you didn't swim with any dolphins,
No.
but you did see dolphins.
Well, kind of. We did go on a dolphin cruise kind of thing, but we only saw like little, just like glimpses of them.
Oh.
We didn't really see too much of them.
Hmm.
It was still kind of cool sitting on the boat though, because
Okay.
I got to sit on like at the front, like right there in the front, and that
The
was
bow.
Cool. Yeah.
Did you have to
whatever it's
bow
called.
at the bow?
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Also, what the way it worked was like there was where the guy was piloting the boat, and then there were seats outside of that room that he was in, and at
Probably called the
front of it-
wheelhouse.
Yeah, probably. I don't know the names of boats.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm here.
Yeah. Anyway, there were stairs like right at the front of the boat to get up to that place where we sat, and I tripped on those steps and it was bad.
Oh.
I almost fell down the steps.
Okay.
I fell down a few of them, but not all of them.
Okay. I also saw some pictures from the balcony of little spots that they claimed were dolphins.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, your mom took pictures and said, "Hey, these are dolphins. These look like little gray spots."
I think there were a few, but
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be a cyclone at one point, and I was like, that would be really cool. And everyone else was like, what are you talking about?
What's a cyclone?
Tornado water.
What?
Water tornado.
Why do you have to say it like that?
Because
Okay. Let's
tornado
see.
with water.
Um,
Water go whoosh.
What else did you do besides beach stuff?
We went to lots of restaurants that were all the same. That had all the same food. But I wasted money on Legos, of course. I got the 20th anniversary edition Slave 1.
Yeah, but you were excited to bring that home, and you showed me the box, and then the box disappeared, and I didn't even get to see the Lego set.
Well, it's not done yet. I'm still
I want to
rebuilding
build it. I want you to take it apart piece by piece, and I want to build it.
All right, I could take it apart again.
Okay. So
Anyway.
you did some shopping, ate some food.
Got some pins. Also, I should just talk about the restaurants too. They were cool, even though they kind of had the same food. But we went to a place. Oh, I forgot. I did not enjoy this place.
Well, it was memorable.
Yeah. We went to a place called The Hangout. And they had. This is where I got the switchblade spork. I forgot.
Oh, the switchblade spork.
I got a switchblade, but it's a spork.
That's awesome.
And it was funny. I wish there was a pin in that place, though, because they had all kinds of cool stickers, but no pins.
But you didn't like the place. I mean, so what?
It was probably good at, like, nighttime when there's, like, people playing music there. But what this was, we ate breakfast there. The breakfast was very good. And we had... It was like one of those restaurants where you just go there and lots of food comes for everybody.
Oh, so they served a family style?
Yeah, and I love those.
Blech.
That was kind of my first time going to one of those.
That's like a beach version of Cracker Barrel. Blech.
Anyway, they had lots of cool pictures and lots of cool designs. There was like this place where the DJ sat, and it was high up on like a loft, but like the loft was covered in Pez's. It was really
Pez
cool.
dispenser or Pez's?
Yeah, Pez dispensers.
Pez dispensers.
It was really cool.
All right.
But anyway, it was a little annoying because they had this whole pirates and princesses theme where there'd be dancers and singers. But there was no stage. They just sometimes just got up on random tables and started saying stuff that you couldn't understand because their mics weren't turned up enough.
Oh.
And then, yeah.
That's funny.
But then you'd think with that, the story quotations would be longer. But no, they went right about as we were getting done, the whole thing restarted.
Oh, so like an hour?
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
Well, you have to think about they're turning tables, so they need to keep it short because they have new people coming in the restaurant all the time. So
But
it's kind of like a radio show, and like if you listen, one of the things that my favorite things to do when I used to drive a lot for work is I would listen to talk radio. Mm-hmm. I listened to a lot of sports. Well, they would talk about the same things every hour.
Yeah.
It was because their listeners would only be around for about an hour. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why.
But the daytime stuff was really basically for kids, and that was really annoying. But the building was really cool too because most of the buildings there actually. There are two places we went to. It was called Lulu's, and then this place I'm talking about right now is the Hangout. And like the building can be like, it was basically like an outside building at the time, but when the building could basically be turned into an actual building. Like there were like really big, almost garage doors that were like everywhere, and they could close if it was raining or something.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
Yeah,
and I'm trying to think of what else happened then. What did we do after that? I don't know what we did.
Well, one day you had a little athletic adventure.
Oh yeah.
I consider disc golf athletic. So.
Yeah. We went. I went disc golfing with my cousin Clayton. That was fun. He lost a disc though.
And why? Why would he not go after a disc?
Alligator.
They're not cheap. Was an alligator eating it?
No, but we were worried about him. He searched for him. He searched for a long time.
Oh.
I think we were both still nervous about alligators though. Also, I don't think I talked about the U-Disc thing. We use an app called U-Disc for our golfing, for our disc golfing, and it's very cool. But for some reason, on the app, this certain course, number 7 was or hole 7 was hole number 1 on the app. So we started at 7, but the way it was set up on the UDisc app made more sense, and it was way easier to walk around with it. But the way the course was done is it was weird because hole 1 was actually just in the middle of a field where you wouldn't see it. And it was bizarre. And 18 was actually in a normal spot, but it just didn't make much sense for hole 1 to just be in the middle of a field.
Yeah, that would be strange because usually you would think it'd be near somewhere where you could park and get out, and then you'd start at hole 1, and then 18 would make a big loop, and you'd come back to where you started.
There were all the holes were just straight head on, but it was still really cool. There were 2 holes that were really cool where it was just straight on, and it was just in the middle of a big field, and it was really cool.
And you had one basket was hanging from a tree?
Yes. I thought that was a cool design.
Yeah. I like those. Sorry. And go-karts?
Go-karts, yes. We went to a go-kart track place. We went to like a place there, and it had go-karts. That was fun.
Yeah, because you actually know how to drive now. And yeah.
Well, go-karts are cool.
Yes.
What? I don't know why I said that. But it was fun because at first Stella was nervous. She didn't go on the first time, but then we went on like this right before we were about to leave, and that was cool. It was cool. I don't know why. Was it a big track? Oh yeah, I should have talked about the track. There were way bigger tracks, but they're closed for some reason. Probably because, I don't know, social distancing. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So you finally got to drive on the ride home.
Yeah.
You didn't get to drive the whole week, but a little bit on the way home.
For like an hour, I think.
Like an hour. So you kind of basically had to just go wherever someone else would take you.
Yeah.
How would it have been different had you been given the opportunity to go out on your own, whether that would have been to drive a vehicle or to Uber somewhere? What would you have done different?
I would have probably just been looking up places constantly on my phone and been like, oh, I want to go here. And then I tell Mom, and then I leave.
What's one place you would have liked to have experienced or gone and seen?
There were lots of nice golf courses. I'm pretty sure there was actually a disc golf course on the beach in Florida.
How far away was Florida?
It wasn't too far away, but the course was an hour away.
Oh, well, that's not bad because we'd drive an hour to Springfield. So
yeah, I wanted to go there, but I didn't get to.
That would have been neat.
It would have been. And I would also wanted to go to this place. I think it was we had lots of stuff planned, but me and Mom went by a place, and it was like a comic book place, but you could see a bunch of Funko Pops in the window. And I was like, oh, we should go there. But then when we went there, they were closed because, like, for some reason, well, I understand it, not for some reason, but there were certain days where anybody could come in, and then there were other days where you had to make an appointment to come in.
Oh, yeah. That's understandable.
So I didn't get to go in.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. So what else do you have on the agenda for the rest of your summer? Work?
Yes.
Disc golf?
Camping.
Regular golf? Camping?
Hopefully.
Who are you going camping with?
My friends.
What friends?
Uh,
We need to
my-
discuss this.
Yeah. On the podcast.
We don't. It doesn't have to be a discussion on the podcast.
Okay.
No. And where would you
Oh,
be
okay.
camping? I guess that doesn't.
At my grandma's house, at Granny's house.
Oh, okay. Have you?
Yes.
You must have already planned that with her then.
Yes, because we were well, yeah.
All right.
And I forgot also to say, we also I was about to say still need to talk about the other restaurants we went to, which was Floribama and Lulu's. We went to a cool place called Floribama, and the store, I don't remember the full story, but the story is like Alabama wasn't selling alcohol or something at one time, or he couldn't have it in Alabama. So some guy was like, well, fine. And then he built a bar on the border of Alabama and Florida.
So he could serve in Florida and he could have a restaurant in Alabama and it'd be all under one roof.
Yes, and they still had the original building there too,
All right.
which surprised me. But it was turned into like a bar and a gift shop.
Okay.
And the actual restaurant was a newer building, but it also had a bar, and And we went to the bar, or not the bar. We went to the restaurant. And it was pretty cool because you could write your name pretty much wherever you wanted on the walls and stuff. So like tons of people had written their names on the walls, and it was really cool.
You could do that at Gino's East up in Chicago too.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard Gino's East is good.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about the Lunch Club podcast again. They
yeah.
talked about. They had a special guest on it. His name was Eddie Burback, and he lives in like the suburbs of Chicago, and he said Gino's East is like the best place. I want to go there.
Absolutely, yes.
That's
Someday we'll do that.
That's why I want to go back to Chicago someday.
Yeah. Someday we can.
Also, Lulu's. I think that's the last place we went. It was a cool place. Basically, you went in, but like, it was a big place. There was like a playground. It was like walking into like a Disney World park, but at a smaller scale. There was like a whole boat dock where people could park their boats. There was also a playground kind of place. There was an arcade building. There was two gift shop buildings. Then there was the restaurant and bar. The restaurant area was huge. Sadly, we didn't get to sit next to the water, but it was really cool. Oh, and that's where I tried crab for the first time.
Oh yeah, crab's good.
So it was in the soup stuff, and I tried it, and I was like, that's kind of good. And then I tried it again, and I was like, I don't know if I like that.
Huh. It was in a soup?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have crab legs.
Big chunks.
Crab legs or crab cakes.
That's probably why I didn't like it.
Yeah, we'll have to try it again sometime.
There's more stuff. I'm sorry.
All right, more stuff. We're at 29 minutes.
What'd I get? I got a fish po' boy, and it was really good. But it was huge, and I couldn't finish it. So Mom finished it. Also, I got really weirded out when I turned and looked at the TV, and there was NASCAR, and I was like, okay, cool, NASCAR. And then one guy won, and he was going up on that one thing where the people talk, and he was just like, oh yeah, I got this sword. And I was like, what? Why do you win a sword when you're in NASCAR? And then I looked it up, and I didn't know that you basically just win random junk for winning NASCAR.
Yeah, I think there's one race in Texas where he won a pair of boots.
I know one was a jukebox.
Yeah, they get a trophy, but then there's some weird other things that they get.
I said to myself, I was like, why don't you just go to a thrift store? You don't have to win NASCAR.
Yeah. Or come to our breezeway. I think we have a couple still.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
No, I think that's all. I kind of talked really fast, and I was probably like in the
that's fine. No, thank you though for sharing with us your experience on the way down to Alabama and your time in Alabama and your time home. Sounds like you had fun. But I don't ever want to hear you say that you can't give a speech of longer than 5 minutes because you gave about a 30-minute speech. So
Okay.
So you have that capability within you that you can stand in front of a crowd and you can entertain
I'm not
for
standing
30
in front of a
minutes.
crowd right now.
Well, you basically are.
I can do this and live stream and just be myself and be stupid because no one's in front of me.
That's all public speaking is just being yourself.
Well, I can't see the actual
Be
people.
confident. So what if you could see the actual people?
It makes me feel more confident when I can't actually see the people.
Huh. Interesting.
Like if I knew how many people were listening right now and who was listening right now, I'd be like, I don't want to do this anymore.
There's no one listening right now. We're just recording.
I know, but people in the future listening.
So you want to know how many people in the future are listening?
Oh.
Okay.
No, I mean, I don't know.
You have the capability of speaking for prolonged periods of time, and speaking in front of people really isn't any different. They're just people there listening live instead of after the fact.
And by in the future, I mean like the people that are going to listen to this in like 10 minutes.
Hopefully, we have people listening to it in 10 minutes.
Hopefully.
All right. So I think that's going to wrap things up today for this podcast. Thank you all for joining us and listening. Again, we invite you to check out our Facebook group page. It's Facebook. The name is Will and Walker Podcast Listeners. Yeah, Will and Walker Podcast Listeners. Again, we'd like to invite you to check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/Will and Walker Podcast. And our Instagram
is at Will and Walker Podcast.
All right.
With the @ symbol at the beginning.
So thanks once again for joining us. We hope to have another podcast ready to go this Sunday or Monday. I have to work on Sunday, hopefully, and I got to take care of some things. But hopefully we'll get one up and running, and we'll get back to our weekly podcast. So
also, I'm going to keep plugging this, but I stream and make funny videos on YouTube. It's not that big, but I still do it, and I think it's funny.
How do they find you?
Oh, Little Chair Stacker.
Little Chair Stacker.
Nothing in between not all capitals, capital L, capital C, capital S. Little Chair Stacker.
All right. We'll let you all go. Thanks for listening.
Bye.